I think the primary reason we started working with Turknik is because of the American Cancer Society going through the merger process. The American Cancer Society was an organization of multiple divisions. And when I say a division, I mean a state. So we started putting these states together in order to merge, in order to have best practices, in order to be more effective in the way we operated. So going through merger really took a lot of effort, a lot of process that we had to go through, and we had to get board approvals and so forth, since each of these different states and divisions were separate corporations. Well, I decided to hire Turknik mainly because of the complexity of going through the merger process. You know, we're talking about cultural issues, we're talking about priorities, we're talking about getting buy-in from our volunteers and buy-in from our staff. So we really needed a lot of help in order to get that going. So I interviewed Bob and Lynn. I talked to some other organizations. Really what I liked was the leadership model that they had presented, leadership character model. And to me, I thought that was very important, especially going through the merger process and especially in working with our supervisors. Well, we started with the Turknik Leadership Group with an analysis of where we were. So we looked at where we were and where is it that we wanted to go and what were some of our objectives. So that was our priority, and they helped us synthesize all that information so that we were able to move forward. I think the biggest challenges we had were culture. I think culture was one challenge. Priorities was another challenge. Communication was also a challenge. So I think those are the three major issues that we needed to focus in on. Turknik Group provided a lot of different services. I think they have a myriad of services. I brought up the one on focusing. So I think they were able to help us with our planning. They were able to help us with the cultural issues. For me, the leadership character model was the major proponent in which we're able to provide direction to our supervisors and provide direction to the whole organization. So I think those are three of the major issues that they were able to help us out with. Well, to me, leadership character is important because it involves, and in my own words, we have competency and character. And I think from a competency perspective, we want all of our employees, we want our volunteers, our staff to be competent, but we also want to have them work from a character perspective. Are you working from an integrity perspective? And I think competency without character is something that we would dismiss. I think we want individuals to have both a competent perspective plus working with it from a character avenue. I think the impact that Turknik Leadership Group had with us, again, had to deal with the leadership character model. And by concentrating on our supervisors, we were able to provide them with direct counseling. We were able to go through Myers-Briggs training with our supervisors so they understood where they were coming from and also from where some of their other employees were coming from. We started looking at various leadership levels, and we know there are 5 different leadership levels within the leadership character model. And our staff were starting to use that language. So from a cultural perspective, they were able to talk about leadership level 3 and what it meant, leadership level 4 and leadership level 5. And especially from our supervisors, we wanted to make sure that they were level 4 or level 5. If somebody was at a level 3, which we were able to identify through the model, our objective was how do we get them to leadership level 4. I think the strengths that the leadership group brought was, first of all, they had the experience. I think they had the education, they had the experience. They've been working with a lot of other major groups. Even though we were not-for-profit, I know they've worked with Coca-Cola and some other groups and some other major groups. And I think their level of experience and the fact that it's a diverse level of experience that they're able to bring to us was a major plus. I believe that their leadership character model is a model that any organization could utilize. when you're talking about responsibility, leadership, and how character ties into that. And I think that the leadership of the Turknik group is a major plus. The Turknik leadership group was instrumental in helping us provide what I call a very effective merger. And the reason I say that is mergers are very complex. The issue of merger, especially in the American Cancer Society, we had 7 different states plus the District of Columbia. At one time, each of those states plus DC had their own board of directors. And also, each of those states had their own executive vice presidents or chief executive officers. So in order for us to become one organization, we had to focus in on who's going to be the chief executive officer. How do we become, instead of 8 separate boards, how do we become one board? How do we tie all this together? How do we communicate the direction we want to go in? How do we get to a position where culture is important to us? So we needed some help in helping us as far as direction and as far as what are the next steps that we need to take in merger. What are the correct steps to take, first of all, in the merger? And I believe the Turknik Leadership Group was instrumental in helping us put all that together, to synthesize that in order for us to have what I would call an effective merger, which it was.